What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is finally showing some signs of life. It is fighting back. It is up 4.8%, 491 the low, 502 the high, and 40.7 million shares being traded. 53.1 is the average. No real macro data, and you're not really seeing that much in institutional transactions. So right now, only 2 buys on the secondary market. One for, it looks like 497,000, other one for 211. So today, regrettably, is just piggybacking off of the broader market's optimism through algorithmic trading as per usual. But I think today definitely is long past due that you had some sort of recovery. There was a couple of things that did come out that's really pushing NIO higher. One is this. So there's a couple of things that the market does like to see from NIO. One is new launches. Every time NIO has announced that, the stock price tends to move higher. Same goes for if there's any articles or any hint at good amount of demand for their products, then as well the market does tend to like that. So for instance, this came out. So Envo L90 has surpassed 40,000 deliveries, and so that's good stuff, right? Just in the last 4 months. So again, it kind of falls under that demand category. Market likes to see this type of stuff. Other things did come out. I don't really see these being a big deal for the broader market. I don't think anyone's really buying NIO because of this, but it does look like NIO to open its first dealership in Denmark in early 2026. So more expansion related kind of news. And then as well this, even though this has been, I do believe, brought up quite a lot, but it does look like the Firefly is going to be in Singapore in January. So I think it was just said in the next couple of months. So we do have January as a date. So they are moving that up. So that's, again, kind of a good thing, but still falls under the expansion type of stuff. And the market doesn't tend to really favor that. Like I said, this is just, again, me covering NIO, kind of piecing together what the market so far does like and doesn't like. But at the time of doing this video, at the same time, you are seeing shorts increasing 1.67 million shares. 11.4% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 158.3 million shares overall being shorted. DTC still kind of maintaining roughly around that 2.2 range. Looking at the intraday though, they did try their very best to slow the progress down. So at the peak, shorts were increasing 11 million shares. So again, I know I've brought this up time and time again. So NIO does really want to move higher, and whoever is shorting NIO, they've been around the block. They know what to do, and they know how to strategically kill momentum at key levels. So again, like I kind of signaled, that shorts increased at the peak roughly around 11 million shares, with there being 41 million shares being traded so far. Like, they have made up for a good chunk of the volume. So definitely good to see NIO being in the green despite the attempt at manipulation. And then one thing as well, speaking of manipulation, I have brought up in the past about the SEC transparency rule and how that could potentially really help NIO, as well as many other heavily shorted stocks. And what I mean by that is a lot of these 13 Fs right here, it's only voluntary if someone is shorting to disclose their position. So all these 13 Fs are longs only. So if you think about it, it's really dumb for the SEC to force, for instance, some very large institutions to only disclose long positions and voluntarily, if they want, to indicate short. So even popping over here, you see 3 institutions and ETFs have disclosed that they have a short position. Some have puts, and that is it. But I do find it very difficult to believe that these 3 are the only ones shorting NIO out there. Because again, just looking at this, math doesn't add up. So right here is roughly around 4 million if you think about it. And as I indicated, there's about 158 million shares. So this is where the SEC transparency rule was going to help. It was going to force everyone to disclose long and short positions. This was originally announced in 2023, was supposed to be implemented 2024, got pushed back to late 2024 to now 2025, and then got pushed to 2026. But because of this, so they did tweet this. So today the SEC extended the compliance date for Rule 13F-2 and Rule 10C-1A. So ultimately putting the time frame now to January 2nd, 2028 for the 13Fs, and then also March 29th, 2029 for the loan component. And the timing of this is very kind of ironic because this is right before elections. So nothing is going to get done, in my opinion. So even though this was going to be a pretty good catalyst, because no institution wants to be seen as the big bad citadel. So prior to this, you'd have a lot of institutions returning. It doesn't look like that's going to come to fruition. So I know I've brought this up in the past, so I just wanted to give a very quick update to this. So let me know your general thoughts on that. Again, for those of you that kind of have remembered this, or at least me bringing it up. But 11 million in calls so far today, 2.3 in puts, and then 44% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. From a bull standpoint, you now see a consensus for it to be above 5 and then above 550 for the next couple of weeks. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be a sub 5. So it is fair to assume that NIO might be moving higher from here. This is the open interest, so something to keep in mind, especially with tomorrow being Friday. You have 9,000 at that 5, 18,000 at that 550. So best case scenario, NIO does continue this good momentum and gets above roughly 550. So as I've already shown you, 2 transactions on the secondary market. These are some of the ones from the dark pool. So it goes to show as well, a lot of hedge funds are buying. And given, again, shorts and how active they are today, a lot of these as well are linked to them. Aside from that, with it at 502, it's successfully able to and was able to break past that 499. So that was going to be a key breakout point. So as long as they can hold that today, then in theory, we should see a nice recovery. So 521 will be the following support, followed by 534. So just watch for today for it to get above that 521. Aside from all that fun stuff, quickly popping over here on the actual chart itself, it's somewhat going to be flirting with that 200-day moving average. So that's sitting at 503. So you have that 499 and then 503. If it's able to get above that, then yeah, you'll see a very nice V-shaped recovery. So give yourself a shout out if you did buy yesterday at 473 was the low. Crazy stuff. This has been one massive sell-off. Largely unjustified if you think about it. A lot of this has just been artificially suppressed through algorithmic trading, but it's been enough to really hit the momentum quite hard. There really hasn't been that much in articles aside from what I brought up, so it's been largely just piggybacking off the broader market, and there hasn't really been any new analyst ratings despite them putting out their monthly numbers. So let me know your general thoughts on NIO. Are you buying? Did you take advantage and buy? I know a lot of people really kind of didn't really like when I was saying buy when other people are fearful. Definitely these videos, on a side note, I'm not here to pump anything. I'm not here to get you to buy or sell, just bringing awareness. Especially I brought it up I think 2 or 3 times yesterday. When the market is feeling a certain direction is coming, if you go the opposite direction of that, you can make some very serious money. So even though right now NIO's up 4.91%, if you actually did buy a call, you'd be up easily 2, 3, 4 times that just today alone. It's all about timing. That's kind of what the moral of the story is for the market. So like NIO's a very difficult stock, difficult to catch the highs, difficult to catch the exact bottoms. But if you dollar cost average, that most likely is going to work in everyone's favor. So let me know your thoughts on NIO. One final thing, if you are looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.